I wanted to make a video of my L2900 Kubota. This has the glide shift transmission. I am the second owner of this machine. It is still in very good shape. I believe it only has 600 hours on it. I did wax it about 2 years ago. I want to do it again this spring. I did just recently replace the front tires because they were starting to get a little thin. The back tires hold up really well on these though. They don't wear nearly as hard as the fronts do. I have the scraper blade on right now just in case it would snow. This does have the hard-sided Curtis cab on it. I did take off the original halogen lights and I put LED lights on it. Definitely a big upgrade and definitely, takes this tractor out of the Stone Age. It is a 1996 tractor. But, the condition is pretty much flawless. Has the LA 480 loader on it. Has the grill guard on it, which I would highly recommend, especially with having a loader. Go in the cab here. This is the heater that came with the cab for heat that uses the coolant from the engine, but it has to travel a far ways from the engine and the lines come out of the engine bay and they cool down really quick, so the heater's not really efficient. So I did stick in this electric heater. It's hardwired directly to the battery. It won't roast you out, but it helps. Just being out of the weather and not getting snowed on in winter is really a big plus. Has the optional fan. Has the radio in with the old cassette player. Has the dome light. Has the wiper. Rear sliding window. Also, these tractors do have a nice little toolbox, and the lids are spring-loaded, so they always shut. You do have a suspension seat that is adjustable. This tractor, also because of having a cab, does have the optional cigarette lighter, which the battery in this tractor is up front in front of the radiator, so it's hard to kind of jump or get to it to tend the battery or charge it. So I just took and hardwired the cigarette lighter, and I bought an adapter for a battery tender that goes into a cigarette lighter. So since this tractor just sits most of the time, I can stick a tender in there and just tend it through that way. I'll just open up this window, run the tender through there, and plug it in up there on the ceiling. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Take and start it up quick. Hasn't been started in weeks. Not beautiful yet. Nice power steering. Very easy in these machines. And that only light that was on was just the parking brake light. It is nice to do a little console over here. Got a retro tape holder built in, or another cup holder. I do have one of these cheap little adapters that I can play that I can stream music through the radio then. And then you have all your cab controls up here. for your lighting.
Scars and imperfections. If I could breathe, I'd hold you in my veins. You've got me feeling like an animal.
And yes, it does have 604 hours on it. And this has the glide shift transmission, which you have 8 forward speeds and 8 reverse speeds. And you change them here with this shuttle. You lift it up and you push it forward. That's back to neutral. And then there's reverse. I have your hazard lights. And then this is the high and low beam headlight switch to turn them on and off as well. And you also have your hand throttle. Have the emergency shut off, and this orange lever is the for the parking brake. Have your joystick for your loader controls. You have your rear PTO height adjustment, or your rear 3-point hitch adjustment. You have your PTO control. Your 4-wheel drive lever is conveniently located. You just pull up and it goes into 4-wheel drive. You do also have a manual clutch on this, even though it is a hydraulic shuttle. And this black lever is for to tilt the column. The column does tilt in this to adjust it to the operator's preference. This is a 1996. I do plan on keeping this thing for a very, very, very long time. I mean, the tractor's really clean and in good shape. Oh, and before I forget, this is what makes this tractor fun, is I have a backhoe attachment for it. So that can be very useful depending on what you need to do.